What is up, folks, and welcome back to another video. Today I have another fun one for you guys. We are going to be learning how to make better pathways in Minecraft. I'm going to be showing you guys 5 different pathway designs that I personally use in my builds to improve my builds and just make them look a little bit more spicy. But before we build the 5 that I'm going to be showing you guys today, I want to show you guys 4 pathway designs that I personally say to, to avoid, per se. Now, these are the big 4 that I personally see in all of your guys' builds. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I see no problem. It is your personal preference, and you know what? If you're going for the minimalist look, there's absolutely nothing wrong. But I can safely say some of these pathways look a little bland. You got old reliable here, done with the shovel, just a little indent in the ground, typical Minecraft pathway. And then we got the old cobbler here, just cobblestone road. Nothing really extreme, using one material. And then we got the 2 straight shots. This is a brick road, and then we have a stone brick road. And, a little bit of detail going on in each of these. We got a granite border on this one, straight pathway, but nothing really broken up, no extra detail there. Same on this one, smooth stone border on each side, typical stone brick blocks right here in the middle. Really nothing too special. If you have an entire village, say, of just these couple pathways, it might look a little boring, a little too clean cut. And Minecraft is not necessarily built around being quote-unquote clean cut. So that's why I'm going to be showing you guys 5 different pathway designs that you guys can use in your builds just to help improve these builds and just make your pathways look a little bit better. So let's get started. Starting off with old reliable number 1, the dirt pathway. As you can see here, our 3 materials for this pathway are going to be brown concrete powder, rooted dirt, and coarse dirt. These 3 blocks, very similar kind of in tone, but they're all a little bit different texture. I'm gonna main the coarse dirt here for this pathway. Just spread it around all over the place. Feel free to overlap it a little bit. And then I'm gonna go back in and spread the root block pretty much to the same degree as the coarse dirt. Like so, like this. And then, last but most certainly not least, that brown concrete powder. Go back in and pop this wherever you please, like so. And voila! You can see that wasn't very hard, and already it is a dirt pathway that looks just a little bit more detailed than your typical just standard dirt pathway like that one over there. You only had to use 3 blocks for this one. They got those brown concrete powder, rooted dirt, and coarse dirt. Pretty much materials that are easy to get. This is great if you're doing like a little bit of a western or a very rustic village, not very overly developed. You want to do dirt pathways, but you don't want to do just the simple little dirt pathway that Minecraft provides. So yeah, this is a personal favorite of mine for those needs. And coming to number 2, this will pretty much replace the cobblestone pathway. Obviously we do have cobblestone in there, but we're also going to be adding andesite, gravel, and tuff. Tuff is a little bit of a newer one, and it kind of shares a little bit of the cobblestone texture, but it's a different tone, it's a little bit of a different shade, and obviously it is a different texture overall. But being that cobblestone is the main theme, we're going to main cobblestone here. I'm going to have this just kind of go back and forth like so. Just go back and forth with the cobblestone. And then I'm going to go in a little bit on the edges with this andesite. So not too much andesite, just a little bit there. And then the same thing on the edges with the gravel. I'm going to keep the gravel a little bit out of the middle, but we're going to have it kind of along the edges here, like so. Just along the edges. You can pop like one in the middle there, one right there as well. Next, we're going to come in with the tuff. So I don't want to overdo the tuff, but just enough to break up that cobblestone look. And voila, you have that. So you can see here, it is kind of still a bordered road. So you have the little bit more gritty style along the edges with the gravel and the andesite, but then when you get to the middle, you are maining that cobblestone and that tuff texture. Now, if you wanted to throw a little bit of mossy cobblestone in there, for example, I'm pretty sure that would match just fine, but I will leave that up to you guys for that one. Number 3, once again, keeping it pretty simple, but we're going to be darkening things a little bit. Going back to tough again, but now keeping the deep slate and cobbled deep slate in there. Now, gravel is probably another one that could do okay in this combination, but gravel is also a little bit of a lighter color, so it doesn't match as well. Now, with the deep slate and the cobbled deep slate, they are very similar textures, but what's nice about, I think it's so this is deep slate here. What's nice about cobbled deep slate is it is directional. Let's see if I can do it here. It's not working directionally. I'm trying to remember the best way to do it here, but basically you can place it different directions to kind of mix and match around your texture a little bit there, but not exactly the best way to do that. But, and then you can come back in with the tough. Tough, we're going to keep sort of toward the outer edge, just like so. Keep it kind of simple. Fill back in with that deep slate. Mix those around. Now, like I said, the cobbled deep slate and the regular deep slate are just similar enough to where it's like they match really well, but they're also a little bit of a different texture to where you can break up that road just a little bit. This is great for medieval styles if you're going for something just a little bit darker, or, you know, I would say a mountainous environment where the stone's a little bit harder and more tough. This is where that would do really well, so just keeping that in mind. Number 4 is another personal favorite of mine. Today we're going to be getting into the stones, cracked stone bricks, bringing in andesite and stone again here. So these guys are not very hard to do. So what you want to go in is, if you're going to main the stone brick, go in with your stone brick first, fill in all your major areas with stone brick, as so, and then go back in with your cracked stone brick, and pretty much a similar ratio. Just kind of go around, cracked stone brick wherever you need be. Pretty easy to make. I'm so glad that cracked stone brick is craftable now. It has not always been craftable. Well, it's not craftable. I think you smelt it and you get the cracked stone brick, so that works. And then on the edges again, we're going to be doing that andesite. Just breaking that texture up a little bit, like so. And then in the center is where we're going to keep, we're going to do the stone. So stone kind of breaks up that block texture a little bit, as if it's been eroded and worn down. It just breaks up the stone bricks, but you still got that cracked stone brick in there to break it up as well. And this is a very good pathway for a little bit more, I'd say, elite areas. Like, you know, if you have a little bit more of a royal walkway, or you have big villages, for example, and you have like lanterns along the side of the road, that's great for this, because this is a little bit more of a pristine road. But it's pristine, but it also has some age going on with it as well, so it's kind of keeping that wear and tear, because Minecraft does kind of follow that theme. So yeah, number 4, personal favorite of mine. Which brings us to number 5. Number 5 is also, as you have seen in my previous videos, a personal favorite of mine. I would say even over the stone brick blocks, because we're dealing with brick. And it's not that difficult. Look at this. We got terracotta, granite, and brick blocks. Not very difficult. Same situation. Go in, place your primary material, because that's what you want to main. Go spread it around like so. And then along the edges, you've seen this before, do your slightly rougher material, but you can kind of have it seep into the middle a little bit there. So we'll do like that. Do a little bit more brick. All right, and then you go in with the terracotta, break up that brick a little bit. And once again, you're kind of color matching there. That is another favorite of mine. This is definitely, I would say, your wealthy areas that you're going to be building. It looks, but you still got the weathered look going on there. That's kind of a funny shape. Fix that. So yeah, this is I use these on a lot of different SMPs for sure, just because the red definitely pops compared to a lot of the other stuff that you might be building. Especially if you're not using like brick roofs and all that, a brick pathway definitely sets it off and just makes things look absolutely great. So I use this one personally a lot. I'd say these last two are definitely some of my personal go-tos. And before we head this episode off, I would like to show you the bonus blocks that definitely can help your pathways. So as you can see here, we got a button, grass block, coarse dirt, grass, and cobblestone. Now, going to say like my last one here, there's not too much of a border on this pathway. It just goes straight to grass. This is where this can fix that. So if you go to the corners and you kind of fill all this in, do a little bit of coarse dirt there, create a little bit of a border, same thing over here. And this is definitely how you can rough up your pathway a little bit, and then place some grass there. And don't be afraid when you're making a pathway, especially if it's a slightly more worn pathway that you're going for. Go to the center of your pathway in a couple areas. Just place a couple little patches of coarse dirt. It's not abnormal for a little bit of dirt to get on your pathway, you know. Horses are walking around, kicks dirt off the grass and into the road, and then over time, nobody cleans it. What happens? Your grass grows. Same thing with the buttons. Now, buttons are meant to simulate like rocks. So these you kind of have on the edges of your builds, like so. Just give it a little bit of that natural look. So now you got some rocks in the road, you got grass, and then you can even kind of flare just a little bit of grass in there, just in a couple areas. So now you have a very worn road. See how much better this looks now. This tip can work on any of these roads, especially this dirt road down here. If you come down here, pop just a couple little bits of grass, you know, just wherever. The grass works on the rooted dirt and the coarse dirt. Doesn't work on the concrete powder, but that's okay. But you can place just a little bit of grass around, a couple of rocks, because it's a little bit more natural road. So it is normal to have like rocks and stones and stuff kind of kicked up off the grass and onto that road like so. So yeah. Well, I'm afraid that is going to call it for this tutorial today. If this video did help you and you guys did enjoy, please consider liking, subscribing, doing all of those wonderful things, and especially go follow me on Twitter if you want to know when I'm uploading next or what projects I am working on. I will link everything down below. I will see you guys in the next one.